Welcome to an evening with bull. I'm your host, Matt Lyer, and tonight's topic is feminism, good or bad? Our panelists tonight are Chris Major from powerthequeen.org. We have Gloria Stopham. She's from menism.com. Then we have Clint Clinton, Hillary Clinton's nephew, and Theo Dorr. He met Trump on an elevator. So, feminism. It's been around for many years. Started out in the 20s with suffragettes fighting for voting rights. Then went on to the 70s where they talked and fought for reproductive rights and socioeconomic issues. To today, where feminism fights for issues such as the glass ceiling, media's portrayal of women, social inequality, and many other issues. Well, the definition of feminism is the advocacy of women's rights for equality among the sexes. Many think that feminism is women just fighting for special rights for women. Chris, how do you feel about this?
That's a great question. First, I'd like to start off with a question to ask you guys. Do you guys believe in freedom? By a show of hands. Great, all of you guys believe in freedom. So how could you be against the feminist movement? That's all it's trying to promote, is just equal freedom amongst males and females.
Absolutely.
Well, wouldn't you say that women already have freedom?
Yeah, so
why do
why
women
not
need
promote it
freedom
more?
and feminism? Why do they have to go together? Can't I be a woman and be free and not be a feminist?
Well, sure, but feminism, though, is just trying to point out the facts that throughout history that there have been an unequal balance of this freedom. And the United States is founded on that freedom. So why would you not be for a group which is what my actual organization is trying to promote?
Absolutely.
I believe in earned freedom. I don't believe that that one should just come on this earth and be free. I think that one should be able to go through the trenches at a young age, or one should be able to, throughout their family history, have a chance or have the opportunity to be free.
So you don't think that freedom is a something that life is just naturally given?
No, I don't.
I believe in our country, everyone has the equal right and privilege to be free and have that freedom, men or women.
I believe that too, but I believe that was established with first wave feminism and second wave feminism. I think third wave is something totally different. We're not talking about freedom, we're talking about this individual movement. It's not about community, it's about this angry woman who wants everything and she wants everything handed to her. It's not about the right to vote or socioeconomic equality.
So what is it that you think that they're being individualistic about?
Well, I think there's a lot of things they're being individualistic about. I don't think that modern day feminists, I don't think, are dealing with intersectionality, talking about different races and different socioeconomic backgrounds. They're talking about we want free birth control and we want abortions and we want it now.
And you don't think that those are rights that they should be granted?
I think they should be granted, but I don't think that that's the most important thing. I think the most important thing is equality between men and women, not about handing out things to women of all over the place.
So why is it that a man can impregnate a woman and he can walk away from the situation, but the woman has to deal with that?
Well, in argument of that, isn't there a big push in men being able to convert themselves to women?
You talking about a sex change?
I am exactly talking about a sex change. What is that fair? So if men are
Well-
if men are trying to convert themselves to be a woman, that's not really trying to run away from their problems. That's just giving themselves a whole other mess of problems, wouldn't you
Well,
think?
we're not talking about whether you have the right to change sex or not, but I mean, you're the one that believes that no one's granted freedom, so
That's true. I think, like I said, freedom is earned, and I stand by that.
so we're not dealing with whether people should have a sex change or not. We're dealing with men, women, whatever you choose to call yourself or have a surgery for, it doesn't matter. That you are given equality amongst, it doesn't matter where you fall.
But in your question, it does, because you said, what if the man is able to impregnate a woman? Then what gives the man the right to change over to a woman's status? So to break those barriers.
I don't think that has anything to do with this.
Fair?
Theo,
Yeah.
only 4% of Fortune 500 companies are run by women. Do you think this needs to change?
I don't think it does change. I think they put that stat on themselves. There's this big myth being the glass ceiling, and I think that women make this situation up solely to prevent the need to work hard, as all the hard work put in through the men within the organization is noticed, as you can see throughout all of the men in power throughout these CEOs in the Fortune 500. Women use this as a crutch to claim that there's only so far that they can rise without being halted by the manpower of the organization. So instead of working hard to get to the top, they would rather complain about made-up issues, which causes the men in the workplace to work twice as hard. So how is that fair?
I have a stat here that 48% of law school grads and 45% of law firm associates are women, but only 22% of federal level judges and only 26% of state level judges are women. So if they worked hard to get to those positions and get through grad school and become the associates in the law firms, why have they not been able to get to the state and federal level judgeships?
I don't think it's their passion. I think their passion is shown throughout the amount of CEOs that they are a part of. I have a stat here that says 95% of big name companies such as Subway, Jimmy John's, Quiznos, all of them are headed by women. So obviously when women know their passion, which is sticking to the kitchen and making sandwiches, they're gonna be more passionate in those work areas, and that's why they thrive so well in those companies.
Gloria, do you feel that you should be stuck in the kitchen?
I feel like I have the right to choose if I want to be in the kitchen or not. If I like to be in the kitchen, I shouldn't be made to feel bad about myself just because that's what I like to do.
Well, Theo just said that they should know their place, which is to be in the kitchen. Do you think, yes or no, that your place is to be in the kitchen?
Yes,
And
I
might I add that
think-
Theo also said that freedom, which is your right to choose whether you deserve to be in that kitchen or not, is not given to you, a woman.
I think that women have the right to choose if they want to be in the kitchen or not. I think that's what Theo was getting at, that they do well in the kitchen. But that doesn't mean that they don't do well in other places. And I think as a woman, I have the right to pick the places I want to do well in. And if that's the
But
kitchen,
according to Theo, you don't have that right.
I don't think that's what Theo was saying.
I don't think that's what I was saying at
I
all.
think he
I'm
was
just
saying
saying
that that's where they excel. That has been an area that they have
we're
excelled
going back.
in.
We're going to back the train up a little bit here. Theo said that freedom is not something that is guaranteed. So you are not guaranteed to have that freedom to choose whether you deserve to be in the kitchen or not.
But then by
Whether
that,
you're a
you're
good
not
cook or
either.
not.
You don't have that either then.
Accordingly, no. To Theo, no.
And I think just to go back to my stat, I said that these are the women who are passionate in this. I'm not saying that they are forced to be in the kitchen. I said if they're passionate and that's where they belong, then that's where they should stay.
But who says that they should belong there?
I think you've got this idea that these women are chained to the stoves, and that's not the situation here.
All right, in the 1950s, when a family could live off one person being the household income, who was that person generally that would go into the workforce?
The man.
The man.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't think that that is sort of following through into society nowadays, to which where most families can't survive off of one income?
I think that you're doing a little bit of a reach here, but I do believe that I believe in the term that if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think that
But it is broke. Two people.
in your
have to-
opinion, yes, in your opinion, it is broke. In my opinion, in my situation, in my family, in my neighborhood, the man is the one who goes out and works and the woman stays home and cooks. And is that wrong? In my opinion, no. I believe that she would attest with that. If I'm able to work hard and get my daughter, my wife, my son, the wealth that they need to succeed, then what's so wrong about me saying that I want to become home to a home cooked meal from my wife and spend time with them in the kitchen?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
I think what he's saying is, in all cases, it's not always that the man's income is enough to support the family. Sometimes the woman also does have to go out and get another salary in order to support their family.
And why can't that mother be the head of a CEO?
They can, at Subway.
Okay, and that's all that the feminist movement is just trying to promote, that, hey, they can have that right.
Okay.
Well, feminists. So according to a PBS poll, 23% of women and 10% of men consider themselves feminists, even though 82% of both genders believe that men and women should be politically, socially, and economic equals. So Gloria, what do you feel about this issue?
Well, I feel like it comes back to the feminist versus freedom issue. I think a lot of people don't associate with the negativity and the anger of the current third wave feminist movement. They want equality for men and women, and they don't see why that has to be on the backs of men. I mean, I love men, and I don't see why I would want any of my men counterparts here to fail just because I wanted to promote myself.
I think that the media portrays feminism as those women out there protesting and making a big old scene and taking their shirts off and like trying to be aggressive about it, but really what it is, those aren't feminists. Those don't represent the feminist movement. Those are just wild activists who are just being crazy. The actual feminism is just to promote equality between the two sexes and not actually what they show in the media.
So can you tell me what your point, what you were arguing for was?
So I was, for this show, I chose to be a pro-feminist. It was for the class, we were on the topic of bullshit, obviously, and I just kind of, there was no real reason why I chose it or not. I do think men and women obviously should have equal rights. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of play the difference in the argument, I guess, because when you think of a feminist, you generally think of a woman that would hold that position. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of take the other side a little bit of what people would think.
And I was in the same situation. I thought it would be fun to play the opposite of what I would normally define myself as, and to kind of see other points of view and other arguments that are out there for feminism.
I was picked to be pro-feminism in our group, but I believe in feminism. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a feminist, but I believe in equality for men and women.
Yep. And I am personally a pro-feminist, but in this situation, I was hardcore anti-feminist. No, I do not believe in any of the stats that I had portrayed, and I got those stats solely from my character that had been in passing in Donald Trump in an elevator, so that's where I got all my statements from.
Thank you for watching An Evening with Bullshit.